Ladies and gentlemen, be advised, our meeting starts in 6 minutes. Be sure to grab your food, finish your conversations, and find your seats. I repeat, meeting starts in 6 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, what a great time this would be to find your seat. The meeting will start in 5 minutes.
Legend versus newcomer? Reese's, I'm not gonna choose sides. I'm just gonna eat them.
Check, check, check. All right, everyone, we're about to get started. Let's wrap up the conversations, please. Let's find your seats. I see a lot of familiar faces and folks who have not been here in a little while, so welcome. All right, I'm going to ring the bell to call the meeting to order. All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All right, welcome to our 5,483rd meeting of the Oakland Rotary Club. I'm Tom Limon, president of our club. We were founded in 1908, and we are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world with more than, I updated this number, 46,000 Rotary Clubs in over 200 countries worldwide. Our club represents a diverse membership of 300 business, professional, and community leaders united to serve our local and international communities through a commitment to service above self. I'd like to repeat our Rotary vision statement. This is Rotary International's vision statement, and if you could join me. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. All right, I'd like to welcome our friends on Zoom. Welcome. Can we get a gallery view? Let's see who's there. Let's see, Marie. All right, Linda Chu. All right, Kathleen, David Kirsten. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to all of you who are here today. Ed Jellin, past district governor, Ed Jellin. Do we have any visiting Rotarians with us today?
President Tom, before I answer that question, I have to check. Do we have any visiting Rotarians today?
Oh, we do. All right.
I am Barbara Beery. I am very happy to introduce you to Catherine Turner. Stand up. Catherine Turner is the principal of Baja Bridges, which is a NGO that is helping us with the cervical cancer project, and you will hear more about that in a minute. But she's also a Rotarian visiting from Clarksburg, which is Baja Mar, Mexico.
All right, welcome, welcome. Okay, and if you brought a guest, please stand and introduce your guest, but also state your name and your affiliation or your designation. All right, Julie.
Good afternoon, President Tom and fellow Rotarians and all you Rotarians out in the other world. My name is Julie Fox. I'm retired. I've been with Rotary several years. It's my life. And today I have the pleasure of introducing my husband, Justin Fox, who's come today.
All right, welcome.
Warm welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. All right.
President Tom, Robert Kidd, recovering lawyer. I'd like to introduce today my son, Christopher Kidd, who is a senior planner at Alta Design over at 12th and Harrison Street.
All right. Welcome, Chris. Okay.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Isaac Koss-Reed, back from Poland, where I took my mom for her 80th birthday. And I'm glad to be back in the mix. I'm membership committee chair, board member-elect. I've been member for about 6 years now, and I'm super excited to have today Casey Farmer, who, if you don't know, has worn many hats of service around our community and is currently running to be a future member of the East Bay Regional Parks District Board.
All right, welcome, Casey. Okay.
Thank you, President Tom. CJ Hirschfield, semi-retired and writing for a couple things. I'm really pleased today to introduce someone, Gregory Collins, who is with Youth Beat, an amazing organization in Oakland, and I recently became president of its board of directors.
Of course you did, CJ. Welcome, welcome. Ruth Straub, can you... Okay, do we have any other guests?
Do we?
I think that's it. All right, Ruth Straub will share with us her thought for the day.
Today, as this week, we look into a weekend celebrating Mother's Day. I want to take a moment to celebrate all the mothers in the room. So my thoughts today are about Mother's Day. A little bit about me. My mother has passed. My grandmothers are passed, and I am not currently a mother, so I have a very different relationship to Mother's Day. So I think a lot about Mother Earth. I think about the mother of invention. I think about vinegar and its mother that is the soul of and source of its creativity. So my quote today is from Anonymous. And it was, none of us was born with a manual. We were born with a mother.
Thank you, Ruth. And yes, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and let's celebrate our mothers, our families. It's very important. My mother has played an important role in my life, so it's always a special day. Today we have the distinct privilege of inducting a new member to our Oakland Rotary Club, Megan Imperial. Victor Flores is your sponsor and will introduce you as our newest member. We'll share a couple interesting facts.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Today I have the privilege of inducting and introducing my fiance, Megan Imperial. She was born and raised in the beautiful and diverse city of Garden Grove in Orange County, California. She's a fellow Cal Bear, a current campaign manager, and 3 fun facts about her. Well, 1, she's very competitive, so be careful if you ever enter a competition with her. And to highlight just how competitive she has boxed competitively. She's done salsa dancing competitively and is a state champion in debate when she competed back in the community college days. So thank you for bringing her in. And pass along.
You want to say something first? Let's get a photo. No, just take a photo now.
Somewhere you'll be. Hold on, Katie. I'm coming, Katie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, tell them everything, Tom.
Victor is a brave man, a debate champion, a boxer, a competitor. You're a brave man. I feel like I took up the same battle, though, with my spouse. Anyways, that was a joke. Okay, so Megan, I will present you with your new badge. Well, first of all, here's your new badge. So I'm giving you a little out of practice here. Here's some gifts for you.
Thank you.
So you will receive our 4-way test, which guides Rotarians in their daily lives. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? You will receive our Rotary Made Easy handbook, which provides useful information about our club and our club directory with your 300 of your newest best friends. You will also receive a Rotary pin, and so with the pin, you can attend any Rotary Club meeting in the world. And there are over 46,000 clubs, so it's really a special opportunity to go to another country, visit with the Rotary Club, and meet new leaders. And so it's a very special opportunity. You'll also receive our club centennial book that documents our club's history over the past 100 years, written by our own Linda Hamilton. And your commitment as a new member is to attend meetings, participate in one or more of our committees, practice service above self, and contribute to both the Rotary Foundation and Oakland Rotary Endowment. So again, it is my privilege and pleasure to induct you as our newest member to the Oakland Rotary Club. And let's give Megan another warm welcome to our club. And then at the end, as you leave, if you go to the exit, meet everybody. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. So Ms. Tricia Connors, I think you're going to reintroduce someone very special. All right.
Thank you, President Tom. Come on up, Carrie. So I promised Carrie that I would not embarrass her today. And Carrie, I promise you, I promise you that I will not. However, I also promise all of you Rotarians that you are going to learn something new about this generous, fearless, hardworking person, because she's the last person to tell you about herself. Carrie was born just outside of Detroit, Michigan, in Redford Township, the third of 7 children. Her family was governed by the Pope. They prayed a lot and attended church at least once a week. Her father was a self-employed architect who designed public works projects such as the Leonia City Hall and several local high schools. Her mother taught piano and was a substitute teacher. Given her family's size, life was chaotic in Redford Township. Lots of laughs, lots of tears, and lots of freedom. Money was tight, and the kids were expected to work to fund their social lives and college. Carrie's first job was at a soda fountain, but then she got promoted and worked at Knollwood Country Club as a salad girl, whatever that is. After graduation from high school, Carrie enrolled at the University of Michigan. After 2 years at Michigan, she got restless, took a bus to San Francisco, and never looked back. Carrie worked as a cocktail waitress at Vesuvio's. She found roommates in the Chronicle and lived the typical life of a 20-something in 1970s San Francisco. At some point, she realized that this life was not sustainable, and Carrie enrolled at San Francisco State and graduated with a degree in journalism. Carrie has spent her entire career trying to make the Bay Area a better place. We met in 1988 when she joined John Burton's legislative staff in Sacramento. She did not want to give up her Bay Area life, so she came to Sacramento on Mondays and roomed with me during the week. We had an absolute blast, and through our adventures, I learned from Carrie to trust my instincts, fight for myself, and pursue my dreams. This picture is so funny because, a little side note, this was the 40th birthday party for our co-workers, and both of us were like, oh my God, that's so old. Anyway. Anyway, I learned from Carrie to trust my instincts, fight for myself, and pursue my dreams, because that's what Carrie did. She didn't let our bully of a boss take her down, yet she continued to fight the good fight for the Bay Area. Carrie's professional accomplishments are way too plentiful to cover in 4 minutes, but she's proud of running both of Elihu Harris's campaigns for mayor and heading up his work to put the PG&E power lines underground after the horrific Oakland Hills fires in 1991. Most importantly for this ardent supporter of public transportation, Carrie takes BART everywhere. Carrie led BART's $3.5 billion bond campaign to refurbish and replace all of BART's trains from 2013 to 2016. She used her unbelievable organizing skills and fearless fundraising efforts to lead people to support the campaign by hosting rust, dust, and rails tours at the BART facility where the trains were being repaired. She actually brought people in to look under the 30-year-old BART trains and explain why they needed to be replaced. The bond measure passed handily, and just this week, BART retired the last of its old trains. Yay. In addition to her many professional accomplishments, did I mention that she was president of the OUSD School Board? She served 2 years there. Carrie has not had a drink since 2002. Given her career in campaigning, public service, and organizing, her ability to maintain a sober existence is yet another testament to the exceptional person that she is. Carrie has been married to Raleigh Katz. I love those pictures. Carrie has been married to Raleigh Katz for 35 years, and they have raised 2 amazing daughters, Molly and Nora. Oh, next slide with Molly and Nora. Thanks. Family life grounded Carrie, and she said she never really knew joy or purpose until Molly and Nora entered her life. Like their parents, both daughters are pursuing careers in public service. Molly helping youth find their true potential in Los Angeles, and Nora practicing labor law in the Bay. Carrie, Raleigh, and the girls are huge sports fans. In fact, Carrie will confess to an addiction to the NBA, and especially our Warriors. No one knows the inside scoop on our Warriors like Carrie. Of course, I cannot reintroduce Carrie without talking about her dogs. No one is a better dog mama than Carrie. First you see Emmy, and then Cindy, who Carrie loved until they died of old age. The third picture, Simon and Nettie, oh, that wasn't the one. Anyway, the third picture of Simon and Nettie are her newest additions, and they were sitting on my couch in my non-dog house. You never say no to Carrie and her dogs. Thank you.
Anyways, we are very lucky to have these two ladies, but especially Carrie. Carrie has led our gala for the past 2 years. She also, or 3 years, she also leads our food insecurity committee. And, you know, she's just an incredible leader. For our newer members, if you ever have the opportunity to be on a committee with one of these two ladies, I would definitely encourage it. There's a lot to learn. So thank you. Wait, stay up here. Don't go anywhere. We have bell ringers. Okay. Fred Morris, Pat Williams, Pam Clausen, Joe Gorelka, Karen Friedman, Linda Bosanek, CJ Hirschfield, Jack McAvoy, Isaac Koss-Reed, Shannon Hackley, Mary Jiang. And to all our guests, a bell ring is a generous $100 tax-deductible donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment that impacts our local work. So thank you all. Thank you, Carrie and Tricia, so much.
Can I say one thing? You know, I'm going to do a bell ring in memory of my mother, who is somewhere in the universe, rest her soul. But Trish used a picture of me at my confirmation with my little crown on when I was 7, and I'm sure my mother somewhere is smiling. So thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Karen. So our World Community Service Committee is involved with incredible projects around the world. Today, world traveler Barbara Berry will share a little bit about one of our Rotary partners from Baja, Mexico, who is visiting with us today. Also, Barbara will also share a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to Nepal and how you can also have a Rotary experience with it.
So, Catherine Turner, please stand up so people can see you again. I introduced you already earlier. This is a great, you can sit down again if you want. This is a great opportunity for you to meet an amazing organizer. Not only is she the principal for Baja Bridges, which bridges resource deployment from the U.S. to Baja, where they don't have the resources that we do, but she is also an amazing community organizer. So one of the key things about World Community Service projects is to make sure that it's part of the community, because in order to be sustainable, the community has to adopt the program, participate in the program, take it on, buy into it, and continue it when the Rotary grant is done. So Catherine is an amazing organizer who is already organizing healthcare events throughout Baja, Mexico. And we're just going to add HPV to the menu, if you will, of topics covered. So this is going to be a very successful grant. I'm very excited to work with Catherine, and it's nice to meet her in person. She, Rochelle, will you stand up, please? Catherine organized a trip for Rochelle and me. Rochelle, as you know, is co-chair of the World Community Service Committee. And Catherine organized a trip for us throughout a lot of Baja to meet incredible Rotarians. It was a fabulous experience, and it gave me the confidence that this is the kind of grant that will be very successful. So thank you, Catherine. And there are a few jars of sea salt left if you want to help support the project. The second thing I want to tell you about is that Rick Baskin bought a trip to Kathmandu, Nepal at our gala to raise money for ORE, Oakland Rotary Endowment. And he can't go on the trip. This is a fantastic opportunity for somebody to buy it from him and come along, because the World Community Service Committee is organizing a trip to Nepal and then India to visit our Rotary projects there, to meet Rotarians and have a really wonderful experience similar to what Catherine organized for me in Baja. So it's very fun to do a Rotary trip. You meet so many incredible people. And of course, there's always some tourism involved, because you can't go to these places and not see incredible historic sites. And so the trip in Nepal is going to start on the day after Labor Day on September 3rd. And then on the 16th, we are going to meet the founder and organizer of the HPV treatment NGO, which is Dr. Melissa Mescal. This is an incredible opportunity. And then we're going to go to India to visit the 7 global grants that we have done with the Mumbai Club. We call it the Bombay Queen City Club. And we're going to visit those and meet the Rotarians that we've been doing work with, you know, virtually, and to see incredible sites. We're going to go to the Ellora Caves. We're going to go to Ganeshpuri, which is a little village of tribal people. I mean, you will really, really enjoy this trip. So please contact me. I'm in the process of organizing it, and we want to be sure to include you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara.
And thank you, President Tom.
So if you have the time and availability to make this trip happen, please let me know in the next week. I would love to come back here next week and say and announce who's taking Rick Baskin's trip. Jesse Schmidt, please share the upcoming business development meeting.
Absolutely, President Tom. Thank you so much. Hey, by a show of hands, who would like to have more Barbara Beeries and Tricia Connors and Carrie Hamels in this club? Just raise your hand if you would like. And you can give them a round of applause. They're pretty incredible. Yeah, they do great work. So I'm up here today to talk with you about an event that my committee, the Business Development Committee, is putting on next Thursday. It's at Primetime Golf, which is Preston Pinckney, longtime Rotarian's new brick and mortar location. Our committee, and with the sponsorship of Preston and Primetime, is supporting events where we are trying to bring in the Barbaras and the Carries and the Trishas of the future. So if you want more incredible people like them, or if you just love golf and you want to come check out a virtual driving range, that's going to be a great event to come to. It's next Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30, prime time, right around the corner from here. We look forward to seeing you there.
All right, and Keith Uriarte is going to announce an upcoming service day.
All right. President Tom, Rotarians and guests, Saturday, May 18th, we have another great opportunity. This opportunity is the Alameda County Community Food Bank from 8:30 a.m. to noon. We'll be presenting a check to the food bank. As you know, the need for the food bank services continues to grow. We are halfway to reaching our goal of 30 volunteers. So, if you've not already registered, please go now to the Oakland Rotary website, the calendar drop-down, and for the volunteer opportunities, and please register. So, see you on Saturday, May 18th. Thank you, President Tom.
Great, thank you. So that's great. We're halfway there. We need, what, 15 more volunteers? All right, 15 more volunteers for next week. Let's see. We have if you ever miss a meeting, we now have, our YouTube site is active. We have our own channel. And if you missed a meeting or if you missed what a speaker said during a meeting, you can go here, or you can even just forward a link. So we have had an incredible variety of speakers this year, and so they're all up there now. You can go anytime, but it's very easy to search. Just Rotary Club of Oakland in your search bar. We have a couple of off-site meetings coming up, as you probably know. Next week, we will not be, in 2 weeks, we will not be here in the ballroom. We will be at the Lake Merrick Breakfast Club. It's an early meeting. How many of you have been to the Lake Merrick Breakfast Club before? Oh, wow. All right. Do we have any current members of the Lake Merrick Breakfast Club? Okay, Victor? Okay. And we actually have your president, right, or co-president? Merlin Edwards. All right, Merlin, so we're going to be your guest next week, or in 2 weeks. The speaker will be Dr. Tamil Gilkerson. She's the chancellor of the Peralta Community College District. You can sign up on Eventbrite on our page, and it's $20 with breakfast, or it's free without. So that's your choice. Also, our next off-site after that is on June 6th. We have a limit of 100 people, and so I think we're right around 25 people have signed up so far. I'm pretty sure this will sell out, but we'll be set up in groups of 10 for this meeting, and we'll get a private tour of the California Trail, and we'll also, following the tour, we will announce our Rotary Scholars. Moving on, we have a Roots game coming up. It's the doubleheader on June 8th. And so they're 2-ticket prices. I recommend the Mosaic section. They're not as good as Isaac's seat, but they're pretty good. So I encourage everybody to sign up and invite your friends. This is open. You can just sign up on your own with the code, and there's a link on your table. And then also last week we had the Ballers and Spiders. So with the Ballers, there are tickets for opening night, but it's just a handful of tickets. So we could probably get 30 or 40 tickets. But it's going to be pretty crowded. So I am recommending that we go the following week on June 13th, and we could have basically awesome seats. So does that sound okay? Do people still want to go to the Ballers? Raise your hand if you want to go on June 13th. All right, great. President Shannon wants to do a baseball game with the Giants in August. And so the Giants are playing mid-August. There's a Sunday game, I believe it's like the 17th. But we will get a tailgate space, and we'll get a bunch of tickets on the second deck. So I'll be announcing that shortly. And then also in September, one of the last series of the season is against the New York Yankees. So I'm also looking at getting tickets for that, and it's a fireworks night, and also get a big tailgate space so we can throw a big party. So let's see. I wasn't planning on going to A's games this year, but because of the situation, I think I need to go. So on June 7th, the A's are doing a reverse boycott. And just by a show of hands, since I'm buying group tickets at a discount, who would be interested in going on June 7th to the reverse boycott? Okay. It's me and you, Jake, all right? All right. All right. And then for the Oakland Spiders, we're looking at the June 6th game. Okay, so on your table, be sure to check out the Eventbrite items. There's for our Rotary. June 8th is the Roots, yep. On your tables, on the back of the events, there's a QR code to download DACDB. So next week, we will have a training for DACDB. We have 2 times, and I believe it's Tuesday at 1 o'clock and at 6 o'clock. So please join us. I encourage all of our committee chairs, all of our leaders to be there, and everyone else is also welcome. So Ruth Straub will introduce today's speakers, and we have 3 speakers today.
It is my pleasure to introduce to Rotarians Nikki Lowry, the Director of City and Community Outreach and Programming at Northeastern University. Nikki grew up in the Bay Area and currently resides in Oakland. Her background is so impressive, I'm going to make it a little bigger typed so I can read it. Nikki has a background spanning nonprofits, early stage startups, and established corporations, and she specializes in foraging impactful partnerships. She has led teams in developing innovative solutions, such as designing sustainable prefab school buildings, and expanding homeownership opportunities for essential professionals. Her expertise extends to creating and implementing effective community participation models for public-private planning initiatives, while she most recently led the Google's real estate team in Mountain View. She came to Northeastern in August of 2023 and is thrilled to work with her colleagues to ensure Northeastern is a helpful and trusted neighbor to the city and community of Oakland. As a proud Mills alum, class of 1991, I welcome Nikki and the team from Mills College, from now Northwestern University.
Thank you so much, Ruth, and thank you for the opportunity, Tom. I'm only up here for just a couple minutes just to do some quick context setting, and as Ruth said so succinctly, my role is working with my wonderful colleagues to ensure our university leverages all the opportunities and resources a university has, including research and partnerships and service, to be a good neighbor and partner to Oakland. Great, perfect. On the next slide, just for some quick context setting. So in 2022, Mills College merged with Northeastern University. So we are now Northeastern University, Oakland. This past year was the first year that we represented a mixed class of both returning Mills students who are completing their undergraduate and graduate degrees, as well as Northeastern University freshmen and graduate students. This past year, we were offered degrees in business, technology, psychology and the health sciences, as well as several grad programs. Next year, as we continue to evolve, we're excited to offer more programs, including a Master's of Public Administration. And, we remain focused on just all the ways that we can strengthen our partnership with Oakland through community gains research, through policy convenings. We were so excited to launch a full ride for 4-year tuition scholarships for Oakland Unified High School seniors this year, and I believe we'll be those students are making their decisions who've accepted the scholarship shortly, and so much more. And when Tom generously gave us the opportunity for Northeastern to present today, I immediately thought of my colleagues Christy and Karima because of their work with the Mills Insitute and partnerships. Not only encapsulates Northeastern's mission to foster a university learning model that's rooted in experience and problem solving, but the two of them are really two leaders that embody both the best of Mills College and kind of the evolution of Northeastern and our institution today. So just some quick intros of my lovely colleagues. So Dr. Christy Chung is the executive director of the Mills Institute at Northeastern University and a professor of psychology. She joined Mills College as an assistant professor of psychology in 2000.
Looks like the bandwidth went down in the ballroom, as it often does. It should come back shortly. Maybe this time it'll be Longley. I'll advance the slides, see if I can figure out where she is when we go back.
Since joining our team, Karima has spearheaded 2 Trek initiatives designed to immerse students in real-world experiences by visiting companies including Google, PayPal, Tesla, Block, as well as many of our local Oakland organizations, including the Oakland Roots, the Oakland Zoo, and the Port of Oakland. And she is wholly committed to leveraging Northeastern's experiential education ethos, forging partnerships with our leading organizations to expand students' horizons. So with that, I'm going to hand things over to Christy to talk about her work with the Mills Insitute.
Thank you so much, Nikki. And hello, so nice to see all of you again. I was actually here a year ago, so I actually recognize many of you, President Mary, and thank you so much, President Tom, for inviting us. And just so nice to be back here. My visit a year ago deeply impacted myself, me as a person. And, service above self has always been my personal mission. So I feel like I found my people. So thank you so much for having us again. And like Nikki said, Northeastern merged with Mills about 2 years ago now, 1.5 to 2 years ago in July of 2022. And the last time I was here, I talked a little bit about the merger, the things that are happening within Mills College at Northeastern. But today, I have a chance to tell you a little bit about the new institute that we created, which is the Mills Insitute at Northeastern. So this is my newest leadership role. I'm currently the executive director leading this space and leading this new institute. And the reason why this institute was created was because we want to continue to advance the mission and the legacy of Mills College. As many of you probably know, Mills College was a women's college for 169 years before the merger. So we've been in the Bay Area for a long time. Many people know us as the women's college on the West Coast. So we don't want to lose that legacy. And in fact, that legacy is so important to us that we need to continue to advance it. So the Mills Institute was created with that mission and vision, and as you see on the slide, is to advance women's leadership and also to champion gender and racial justice. So we have a really big goal and vision in mind. So if you go to the next slide, you can see that we are now part of a global university. So Northeastern actually has 13 campuses worldwide. Many of them are in the US, but we also have a campus in London, 2 in Canada, in Toronto and Vancouver, and are continuing to expand throughout the world. So which means the legacy of Mills is reaching more places. Not just in the Bay Area, we're still really important here, but the work that we do now is global. And we now have a platform to bring the good work that we do to more people. So I'm truly excited about that. So on the next slide, you would see that the Institute has joined other multidisciplinary institutes at Northeastern. There are 10 other institutes that already existed before Mills joined. But Mills Institute, as you can see on the slide here, is rather unique. Right? If you look at the titles of all the other institutes, they're mostly science institutes, STEM-oriented institutes. But the Mills Institute is here to represent gender and racial justice, women's leadership. So we're truly filling in a gap at the university and in the society that we want to serve. So I'm excited about that and wanted to give you this context as well. And on the next slide, you would see a little bit about where we are located, actually. This is the Mills Hall space that we currently occupy. If you've been on the Mills campus, you know that we have a beautiful campus in Oakland. And the place that we now have as our headquarters is in Mills Hall. And as you can see here, it's well decorated with art from the Art Museum. And actually, most of the art in our space are by faculty at Mills College. So that's another way for us to continue to preserve and advance the legacy of the art scene that was really, really vibrant at Mills College. I've done a lot of events. Many of them are reunion events and even filming. So you'll see us more, out there in the world. So the team right now is not huge, but we do have quite a few faculty and program leads supporting us. My core team is 4 people, including one more who's joining us soon, so 5. So we're definitely growing and expanding. And you can see that there are many mentors, because we have many programs that are actually mentorship programs for students and also people in the community. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about those today. I know I don't have a lot of time, so going through these slides very quickly, but just to give you a sense of what we do and what we represent. So next slide. So here you can see our goals. So when I first stepped into this position as interim executive director in July of last year, the very first thing that I wanted to do was to create a plan for the Institute, because we have a very clear mission and vision. But in order to bring it to life, as you all know, we need a plan, right? So a 5-year plan, basically. So this actually is a representation of our plan, which I call Project LEAD. And LEAD is a word that no one would forget, L-E-A-D. Each of the letters in the word LEAD represents a pillar of our work. L stands for leveraging global network. So we want to do this work throughout the global network that we have and beyond, right? I mean, there are many places that we haven't touched yet. For example, this summer I'm going to Japan, and we're doing some partnerships work in Japan. So, I mean, it just opens up so many different questions and things that we can do. We work with equity-focused partners like yourselves here, so if there's any ways for us to partner, please reach out to me, but we can't do this work alone, and that is why partnerships is critical to the work that we do at the Institute. We do research. The Institute represents a really big part of research activities at the university, and our goal really isn't just to create another department. We're actually here to bring people from different disciplines together. So whenever we create new opportunities or programs, for example, the one that you see on your table, actually there's a little flyer there about a research justice at the intersection program. That's a research program where we created to bring people from the community together with scholars and academics to work on and co-create solutions for topics related to gender and racial justice. So if any of you would like to join us, please do. The program is going to start this summer, and our goal is to meet online as much as possible and then eventually have some in-person meetings as well to talk about research studies and co-creation of solutions. And then, of course, we also have many impactful programs, and I'll give you a few examples today. So on the next slide, you would see many different examples. Some of you may recognize these. TED Talks, for example, we actually have TED as one of our partners, and I recently gave a TEDx talk in Boston, so you could actually search for me online. But it's one way for us to kind of elevate our work, invite speakers who don't always get invited, people from marginalized populations, to do this type of work, to continue to advance our mission. We also have the TRIO programs, for example, Upward Bound and Mills Educational Talent Search for underserved students in the community to come on campus actually every weekend and in the summer for 6 weeks to experience college and to get support in the work that they do. And then, of course, a lot of research programs as well. So on the next slide, you would see some examples. So this is an example of the TRIO program, Upward Bound and Mills Educational Talent Search. They recently received a grant from PG&E as well, which provided financial literacy training to our students in the community. And most of these students identify as Black or from backgrounds that are marginalized. So in some ways we feel that this is so important for us to continue to elevate and advocate for. And so I was really excited when the TRIO program started to move under the Institute, because it was always under Mills College. We have supported this for over 40 years on our campus, but it's a signature program of the Institute now, and we're truly excited to be able to do this. And then on the next slide, you would see another example of a Russell Women in Science Leadership Program. So this is a research program where students work directly with faculty mentors to gain research experience, but also at the same time learn from people who are science leaders. And this was created for women because Mills College was a women's college. And in order to kind of, continue that advocacy for women in science, especially science leadership, we wanted to keep this program for students who identify as women. Yet another space for our students to continue to learn advocacy and to learn that, they're role models just like them, that they can be leaders in the sciences as well. And then the next program, just briefly, is the Hellman Experiential Science Program, where we actually match industry mentors with students. So basically, let's say we have a mentor from Kaiser Permanente who's very interested in mentoring a first-year student. We made that happen this year. So we currently have 8 students in this program, starting small, but we're going to continue to grow. And it's funded by the Hellman Foundation, and that's why it's called Hellman Experiential Program. But the whole goal of this program is to connect students to industry partners and industry mentors who could help them work on a project that is related to gender and racial justice. So that is one criterion for them to be at the Institute, but to also do work within their own fields. For example, medical sciences, computer science, psychology, neuroscience, and so on. So it's truly been rewarding, to see how the students have learned from our industry partners. And if any of you are interested in becoming mentors, reach out to me. We're always looking for new mentors. And then finally, I'd like to tell you about the research that we do. So like I mentioned, the flyer is also on your table. So this research justice program that we created is actually a relaunch of a program that Mills College was really famous for. So what we did was we brought people from the community together with academics to talk about really important topics. And as you can see here, we have 6 topics as a start. It's just a start. We could probably add more. But these are all topics that kind of advances the legacy, all topics that advance legacy of the Mills Institute, including topics related to age, gender, race, ethnicity, and so on. So if any of you or anyone you know who may be interested in doing this work, please join us, because anyone could be part of this program. And then the following slide would show you our upcoming programming. So we're actually creating a conference for October 25th. It's called Intergenerational Care. Some of you may remember I study cognitive aging. So age is always a really important intersectional factor for me. And one of the goals for the Institute is to continue to advance multi-generational support in learning and just basically leadership opportunities. And one thing about care, the word care, is that I think it actually is so important for us to think about how we continue to advocate for people that we don't necessarily know much about, right? So the topic of radical care actually came from women's studies and ethnic studies. Is about how to truly survive when you're in a marginalized population. It's all about care in many ways, right? How do you care for another group of people? How do you make sure that this world is just so that we could continue to care for people who may not necessarily feel that they are often uplifted in the society? So it has quite a bit of meaning behind it, and I hope many of you can join us. It's going to be a public event, and you'll hear more about it very soon. All right, I think that's my last slide. Or maybe there's 1 or 2 more. So this is our newsletter. You have it on your table as well. You could definitely read it. Take a look at the sign-up sheet also if you want to sign up for a newsletter. We do this every few weeks, so you would be updated about our events and upcoming opportunities as well if you sign up. And then the following slide would show you our website. So we have a web page right now, but we're creating a new website that would be launched within the month. So you would hear about it very soon. And then, of course, social media. So follow us on social media. We actually give out three free books every month. So you may be a lucky winner. But thank you so much. Just a very brief introduction of the Institute. Karima?
Alrighty, well, thank you, Dr. Chung. I am going to introduce myself and jump into the slide. My name is Karima Omar. I am the Associate Director of Partnerships for the Northeastern University Oakland campus. And I'm going to time myself because if I don't, you will hear from me for a long time. So starting my timer now. And so just kicking it off with the Oakland Partnerships team, I wanted to share the vision that we have for the larger Oakland and the Bay Area. My head of partnerships, Carrie Maltby-Liu, longtime Bay Area, living in 25 years. I've been in the Bay Area my whole life, 24 years. So I'm just a place of home, a place of comfort, a place where community truly grows. So it only made sense that our vision captures what we want to do for the Oakland Partnerships team. And that's bringing in the trusted, socially impactful community members that we have, like the ones that Nikki mentioned earlier, Oakland Roots, partnered with Kaiser, we partnered with Port of Oakland, we partnered with just a number of the Oakland community that we can take in to really grow the Northeastern plan that we have for the Oakland campus. Next slide, please. And so I wanted to share a little bit about what the, one second. Thank you. I wanted to share a little bit about, could we actually go to the slide before that, please? Thank you. So a little bit about what connection means, what partnerships means to the Oakland campus, and it's really to continue building a trusted relationship with our partners, and we do that across 6 different industries. The Bay Area alone is home to some of the most beautiful architecture, some of the most innovative companies, as we know, so it only made sense that we inspire our students by taking them on the ground to the companies that are just 20, 30, 10 miles away from us. And it really is to expose students to different career paths. We had students who study in the health and wellness, health and sciences, go to a tech company. We had students who are studying tech go to Kaiser, go to the Oakland Zoo to really expand their horizons, take what they're learning in the classroom and just throw it out, get 110% back, if you will. And it really is this to paint a bigger picture for them as the next entrepreneurial mindset that they could have during their time in Northeastern. Of course, of what we always shine light to the experience at Northeastern. All that to capture the student talent. Our partners get to see what is asked for by a tour of the facilities, a panel member. So they get to hear what is required, what is asked for if I'm going to apply to an internship, apply to a job. Again, just building on the experience of experiential that we provide at Northeastern. And I wanted to share the next slide that really captures what we did in under a year. So the partnership team officially called in a head of partnerships just shy of a month into July. So we're not even a year's old as a department. I want you all to just take a look at that slide. There are 41 partners on that slide. These partners did not exist to the university a year ago before the partnerships team was created. In just a year, we managed to get 41 partners. In just a year, 2 semesters, we took students to all of those partners that you see on the website, some familiar to students, some totally brand new to students coming from the East Coast and across the country. So this is just to show you what the partnerships team has done and will hopefully continue to do. These are very continued partnerships as well. So next slide really captures in just a year what I've just shared with those partners. 20 of those partners were net new in the fall, 9 were net new in the spring. So before the partnerships team, 29 of the 41 were new to the university. That's 71% of new partners to the university in under just 8 months since the creation of the partnerships team for Oakland. That's 148 total speakers that we had across both of those treks, 3 different trek days. And that is, we had a location like Oak Stop as the ballroom, the California ballroom, where we took students and they got to meet over 148 total speakers from across 41 industries, 41 partners, excuse me. And then I should update this number, but it was over 1,000 students engaged throughout all 3 trek days, since we capture our full-time, first-time, as well as our global scholars. And then I'll wrap it up by just sharing my contact, because I can talk forever about partnerships, but you don't have all that time. And so just to make sure that you do have all that time, go ahead and grab your phone and scan my QR code, if you will, connect with me. I tell people I build relationships for a living, but to be honest, I just love talking to people. So if you want to talk, connect with me. We'll talk about what it looks like to partner with the partnerships team. We'll schedule a tour of the campus. You get to meet the head of partnerships. But more importantly, we'll find out where we fit. So if you know someone, if you would yourself would like to partner with Northeastern Oakland's campus, feel free to connect with me. And I did that in 4 minutes, so I will credit myself just in time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chung and Karima and Nikki. We do have time for a couple questions, so do we have any questions for CJ?
Wow. That's all I can say, what you've done in such a short period of time. I'm interested in asking both of you because you have a history with Mills in the before days. I know that when it was announced, this new partnership, there was a lot of blowback. There were a lot of alumni who were outraged. Could you talk about how the alumni are feeling right now, if you've kind of turned it around now that they know what you're doing? Thanks.
Thank you so much for that question. And actually, during the merger, I was associate provost. So I went through all of that. Went to most of the protests, made sure the students were doing fine. But I could say that, yes, I mean, the merger was difficult. It was a very difficult few years, in fact, for all of us. I've been at Mills for 17 years, so, you know, I've seen it grow and also change. But what I could say is that we are very deeply involved with the alumni group. And actually, I myself, I go to many events. I was just in San Diego a few weeks ago talking with the alums, and the same questions came up. You know, how are we doing? How are we continuing to advance the work that was so special at Mills College? And how do we preserve and continue to make us proud, right? So I think for us, the work that is at hand right now is to think about how do we do this in a new context. Because Mills didn't go away. I mean, we are still here, and in fact, we are the legacy in some ways, plus the alums, right? So I always think that the alums are really our best partners in continuing the work at the Institute. So I see them as close partners, and more of them are coming back to support us. I was actually at an event with Tommy a few weeks ago, and I sat right next to a Mills alum, and she told me, she was like, well, after my school went co-ed, and the SAW program, which was a summer academic workshop, went away, I stopped coming back to campus. So, I mean, that's totally understandable when your school is completely different. But what I told her was that the Mills Institute is here to continue that mission. And actually, we're bringing back SAW, which is now called the Trailblazers program, because to me, I feel like the summer academic workshop doesn't really describe how amazing the program is. The program is for first-generation students from low-income background who are first to go to college in their families. So we're bringing that program back, and we're welcoming 20 students into the program this year. So this particular alum told me, I'm coming back. So I think, you know, in many ways, it's a process. It takes time, and we're seeing more and more of those responses that are positive and really just curious as to what we're doing. And that's why I think these kinds of events are so essential. So thank you for inviting us, because we are doing good work, and we're continuing to advance the legacy. But it will take some time, you know, for us to build up our reputation again. But thank you so much. I think, great question.
Also, I had a question for you as well. One, is that same program being extended to Japan? So you say you're going to take a trip out there. And the second question is, can I come too? I got my passport. I want to take some pictures. Go out and relax, have some sushi. That's what I want to do. I got a passport for Japanese culture, so when you said you're going to Japan, that had me excited for it, to see that you're basically trying to extend that same program out to there. But how would that take place, and like, what would that be? What's the process for that? Okay. That's a question for you. Say it again.
Repeat the first part.
Okay. I'll make it quick. For the trip to Japan, we also extended that same program out there, and how would that process take place?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so the Japan partnership. So the Japan partnership is, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, we're just starting that partnership discussion with a university, actually, in Tokyo. It's called Ochanomizu University. It's a women's Institute, actually. So many of you from Mills College would probably know this. We've had a partnership with this university for over 20 years. So what we're trying to do through the Institute now is to create new programs to allow our students to have an experience in Japan, and in particular because they are a women's institution, a lot of the programming is related to gender and racial justice. So we're just starting that discussion. So it's not yet necessarily public and broad just yet, but 1 or 2 students may be going to Japan, a few may be coming here. I'm giving a talk, for example, in June. Another faculty is participating in another conference. So that kind of partnership is happening. But eventually we'll have more of an opportunity for more people to participate.
Excited to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Chung, and Karima and Nikki again. It's customary for us to make a donation in our speakers' names to a charity or cause, and for this year, my area of focus is around youth and parks and open space in Oakland. So we will be making a donation to the Friends of Oakland Parks and Rec, who strive to make the park more beautiful and accessible to the public while reducing the risk of wildfires. So thank you again for being with us today. All right, let's give them. So Keith Dudon, can we get him a microphone, please? Keith.
Yes, of course. Hold on.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
President Tom, ORE trustees had a meeting on Monday, and the treasurer, Pam, could not be there. So she left a video, 12-minute video. She covered financial information, she covered tax returns, and she talked about tax, finance, accountancy, and it was a wonderful video. The attendees were moved by her presentation, so I would love to ring the bell for her, and I hear from Treasurer Pam that it's better to pay by credit card than by check. So I am prepared.
All right, Keith Chidorn. Okay, Joe Garaka.
I'd also like to ring the bell for Pam. It was an excellent presentation, but you all need to know she is cleaning up our books so that we will be CPA compliant going forward.
All right, thank you, Joe. Okay, Tommy Edwards.
President Tom, on behalf of Mills Institute, ring that bell.
All right, Tommy Edwards. All right, thank you very much. And again, that's a $100 tax-deductible donation to
Mary,
Oakland, Oregon.
don't forget President Mary.
President Mary.
Yes, I'd like to ring the bell for another CPA, Pam Clausen.
All right.
Hold on, Tom. Hold on. Everyone's watching me run here. Hold on. We got our guest.
We have Catherine.
So as the granddaughter of a Mills graduate from the 1930s, when nursing was the only opportunity and it was the first college that allowed women in conjunction with San Francisco State, I'm going to ring the bell.
All right, thank you, Catherine. Okay, Jason, you're in pretty good shape, man. All right, so Ruth Stroud, what's happening in the ballroom next week?
Next week, we have a very special program thanks to the OIGC. Their newest board member will be coming to speak to us, Dr. Mark Wilson. Mark Wilson is part of palliative care. He is a clergy person of palliative care at Kaiser Permanente. He is a lifelong Oaklander who has the privilege to serve the families that raised him in Oakland as they pass on to their final journeys. We'll have a chance to learn a little bit about aging and how to take advantage of all the services and systems available to us that we might be afraid to know about. Also, we're going to hear some incredible stories about Oakland and Oaklanders. It's going to be just a special treat, and I can't thank the OIGC enough for recommending this speaker.
Great, thank you so much, Ruth. And Megan, the incredible Megan Imperial is making her way back, so please sure to meet her. Thank you all for being here, and remember, Oakland Rotary is here for you. Thank you.